Oh, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Here we go. It's a great morning. It's a beautiful morning, and we got a lot going on as far as the SoCal Fish Report. What's going on in Southern California? And this is sponsored by ReelQuick Fishing Products. The ReelQuick Reel Seat system is second to none. It's changing the industry as we speak. We got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Daniel Rubin. Him and his partner created this system. It's going to be unbelievable when every single fishing pole in America is using this system and around the world. So we're going to talk with Daniel in a few minutes. But I just want to let you all know what a spectacular week. Thank gosh we all showed up to the Fish and Game Commission meeting a couple of months ago when we all showed up. We tried to warn everybody. We tried to tell you this is going to be the year of the sand bass. The highly migratory sand bass was going to be showing up this year. I don't know how we do it. Maybe because we've been doing this for so long, but it seems like whenever me and the old timers get together and talk, we seem to be able to predict what's going to happen in Southern California. And here we are, setting on one of the best highly migratory sand bass bites that we've seen in the last 18 years. Looking back, we had Don Brockman on the show the other day. This highly migratory sand bass is here. The white bellies have arrived, and if we would have let the Fish and Game Commission meeting just run wild and we didn't show up to those meetings, we would not be able to fish this fish right now. And I've had so many reports from so many members talking about how there's 7, 8, 10 sport boats setting out on the Huntington Flats, and then there's another 40 or 50 private boaters. This is the fish that built the Southern California sport fishing industry. It built all the boats. It created all the tackle stores. The barred sand bass by far is the most important fish. I'm just looking for the proper word. The most important fish to our Southern California fishery by far. There's no other fish more important. There's no other fish that's this easily accessible to the masses. California loves to use the DEI word. This is the fish. This is the fish you've all been waiting for. All of you people that use that word DEI all the time, this is your fish. This fish is available to the masses. It's right in front of the harbors. It's right outside of Huntington Harbor, just a little bit below San Pedro and Long Beach Harbor. It's right there. You don't have to go burn thousands of gallons of fuel. It's an absolute incredible fishery. And we are just fired up. I am so fired up for this season. And we're back to a Southern California sport fishing season, cool water, lots of fish, very good fishing. What a perfect time for ReelQuick fishing to be involved in this industry because, man, there's going to be a lot of people, Daniel, buying fishing poles. There's going to be a lot of people getting involved in this thing because there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Let me get that QR code off your face. There you go. Hey, buddy, good morning.
Good morning, Dave.
There couldn't be a better time to have come out with your product than right now.
Hey, Dave, I saw a report today that there were 70 sand bass caught on one boat.
70?
70 of them. How is that possible with a fish that's halfway extinct?
Yeah, kind of weird. Kind of doesn't make much sense to me and you. We don't have a lot of education between the two of us, but it might make you think it might not be extinct. I want to show you guys. Well, I got Daniel here with us, and we're going to talk about the upcoming ICAST show, Daniel, and all the things that are going to be shown out there. But I just want to show you guys some of the reports coming in on our website, Your Saltwater Guide. This is the most unbelievable fish, and it's going to change relationships with parents in the fishing with your children. This is the reason why I fish. This is the reason why all the old timers I bring on my show fish. This fish, the highly migratory sand bass, is what got us all into fishing. And look at these. If this doesn't paint the picture for you, if you don't quite understand what's going on, And I know there's a lot of you old timers that are super negative and you're like, I don't even like sand bass. Well, we don't care about you anyway. These are the people we care about right here. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
She went out fishing with her father, daddy-daughter sand bass trip. Look at that. Look. Now, I want you to look very closely at this fish, gang. This is a highly migratory sand bass. This isn't the sand bass that lives in the rocks or in the kelp. This is a white-bellied sand bass that comes up from Mexico, and they've invaded Southern California like they did in the past. We were just in a weird cycle the last 18 years, but now we're in a normal Southern California cycle. And John and his daughter now are bonded like you can't even believe. She's going to want to go fishing again. She's going to beg Dad, let's go back out on the boat. That was fun. These sand bass hang out in Southern California. They're going to be here for a while, unless we get some giant storm or something that shows up. Other than that, this fish should be here through August. Normally, anyway. We will see, but when it shows up like it is right now, it just gets better and better as these fish learn where they can spawn. The Huntington Beach Flats is a great spawning area. The clam beds off of San Onofre is a great spawning area. The Imperial Beach Flats down in San Diego. These are all great spawning areas for this fish. And we're just barely scratching the surface. If you think you could have an effect on them with the fishing pole, you're out of your flipping mind. There's billions of them. The guys that know how to use the sonar on the sport boats are seeing tonnage of fish, different schools here and there, and they're talking tons of sand bass. Look at this picture. What do you think of that guy? There's 3 highly migratory white-bellied sand bass with Darren right there. He went out fishing with his oldest child, and they caught easy limits of sand bass, and we're throwing them back for a couple hours. Look at this picture. What do you think of Larry and the kids? Do you think those kids, look at those smiles. You can't buy that smile. That is what this sand bass fishing's all about, Daniel. This is those guys right there. They get a little bit bigger. They're going to want one of your ReelQuick fishing reel seats on their brand new custom rod their dad's going to build for them. Check that out. And then we'll finish. There you go. I just wanted a close-up picture of this highly migratory sand bass, the white belly. The dogs are even checking it out. They can smell Mexico on that fish. Crazy, right, Daniel?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Dave, I've been trying to bring back the memory of the first time my dad took me fishing out of San Pedro. And I won the jackpot. I was like 9 or something. And it was a sand bass. Out of the boat, dropping down and pulling up these giant sand bass. Everybody was on the other side of the boat not doing so well, and they were wondering how I was doing this at 9 years old. I think I pulled 4 up that were bigger than the rest on the boat. I won $9 on the jackpot. It was
how cool is that? You remember it? You remember it like it was yesterday.
Been doing that to them, man. Stand by,
reconnecting. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So, gang, if any of you have been out fishing this week, got onto this bite,
listening to this about the sand bass over the last however many months we've been talking about it, I didn't really realize it was a sand bass at the time until we've been talking about it now. And yeah, they were sand bass. They weren't calico bass. They were sand bass. At the bottom. Kind of cool. Whoops, I lost you.
Yep, you're out. You got to get out of it and reconnect.
I'm not sure if anybody else can hear me.
Here. Any of you guys have been out fishing this week? You want to call in and tell us what you think of this sand bass bite and how you've been connecting with it. Give us a call. Let us know. And we're going to talk etiquette today. We're going to talk about how to fish this sand bass because as the season rolls along, it's going to, there he is. Nope. Something's wrong with your internet connection, Daniel. You got to get all the way out and come back in. You got to get all the way out, come back in. Your internet's messed up. It keeps jumping back and forth. So you got to close down your telephone or whatever you're using and start over again. So gang, as you arrive on these sand bass grounds, you're going to notice a phenomenal amount of boats. So now this is where your etiquette's going to kick in. There's going to be a lot of guys, a lot of boats that don't understand etiquette. But those of us that watch the podcast every day, those of us that are part of this thing, yeah, I see you there. Let me finish this etiquette speech here.
Mm-hmm.
Those of us that understand this whole fishing thing, gang, we know the etiquette thing, but there's going to be boats out there that don't understand, and they're going to see these fish raining over the rails on all these sport boats, and they're going to think that they need to get as close as they can to the sport boats. You guys have to remember, let's not be that guy. Let's not be those people. What you want to do is when you see all the sport boats anchored up out there, you want to come into the zone approaching everybody from their bows. There's no reason to approach any boat from their stern. First of all fish, I don't care if it's a trout, a marlin, or a sand bass, they're all facing into the current. Think about it when you come arriving on the scene. The current's going to be flowing from the bow to the stern of all the sport boats. That's the reason they're pointed in the direction they're pointed, because of the current. So all those sand bass, barracuda, yellowtail, bonita, everything that's swimming around with the sand bass are all going to be facing towards the bow of the boat, of any boat. So that's why you want to approach everybody from their bow. That's where you're going to see the best parts of the schools. They're going to be out off the bows of these boats, and then they do a big circle and come back around to the back of the boat and start the feeding process again. That's why it's imperative that you approach from the bow. Second of all, nobody wants another boat driving up the back of their boat. That's where you're fishing. That's where your lines are going in the water. So you do not want to approach other boats from their stern. It's just not it's not cool. It's not going to help you. I know you see the deckhands throwing the bait off the back of the boat, and you see the chum, and you get all excited, and you want to get over there in the chum line. That's not how it works. If you look at the experienced captains on the sport boats, on the half-day boats especially, when you go to take over the other guy's fish, you are taking over the other boat's fish by dropping your anchor off their bow. And then as they pull their anchor, you let out a little bit of rope and scope back to where they were setting, and that's how you take over their fish. Nobody's taking over another boat's fish by approaching from their stern unless that boat has pulled its anchor, it's ready to go home, and that boat gets there just as the other boat's leaving. But I'm only telling you this because I ran sport boats for 1,000,000 years, and I'm just trying to help you all to be more efficient when you get out there. This is something none of you have ever seen before if you haven't been fishing longer than 20 years. This fish hasn't been in our local Byte 18 years like it is now. So all these things we're talking about are super important. All these things that I'm bringing up are super important so that you can catch more fish when you go out on your boat. Also, when you get to the fleet, remember, all those fish aren't right where all those boats are. They're swimming all over the place, Daniel, and you're going to see them on your fish finder. Now, this fish is in 80 feet of water, so you're going to want to set your fish finder. We call it a photometer here, but you call it a fish finder because you wouldn't have bought a photometer. You want to set the range to 120 feet. That's going to put that bottom about 3/4 of the way down on your screen. Therefore, now you can start to see all the boomerangs. What do we mean by boomerangs? It's going to look like upside down U's, if you will, but it really looks like a boomerang. And they're all going to be, the edges of the boomerang are going to be facing down to the bottom. The upper part of the boomer, or the upper arch of the boomerang, is going to be as high as it can be, and there's going to be a bunch of them stacked on each other. Those are your sand bass that are cruising around. For some reason, they found that spot right there. They like it. It might be the warmth of the water. It might be the bottom is perfect for laying their eggs. Whatever it is, that's why they're right there. So they're not right where the Victory is, or they're not right where the Enterprise is, or they're not right where the Freelance is. Yeah, there's school fish there, but you can find your own. So this is why you got all those bitchin' electronics. You didn't buy your boat, buy all those electronics to follow the sport boats. So let's go out there. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let's use our boat and utilize all the electronics we have. And then, Daniel, all the lures you guys have bought over all the years, this is why you bought them. Now you guys can catch fish on every lure in your tackle box because sand bass eat everything. They made the lure companies, they made all the lure companies rich. This is why, because they eat everything. They eat the iron, they eat the plastics, they eat the swim baits, they eat the underspins, they eat everything. And this is a great fish to grab all the stuff out of your tackle box and see if you can figure out what they won't eat. That's what I used to tell
That's a good game.
I used to tell my clients when they get on the boat, I caught 40 sand bass today. Do you think they'll eat this? I go, you keep trying. You'll find something they won't eat. I don't know why you would change it up when you're catching one every time you drop your line in the water, but everybody's got 20 or 30 lures in their tackle box. This is why you got them. This is why that you have all those lures in your tackle box, Daniel. This is what it's all about. So
Rusty,
as we move forward here, you guys can you can let me know if you have any questions about this sand bass. You can let me know what's going on out on the water. Cubby's kids are out there catching them right now out on the water. Anybody that has any questions or you want to talk about what you've been doing out on the water, you give me a call at 949-374-0786. If you want to know anything about Daniel's ReelQuick system, I got some great videos of us using them. Daniel, I shot 800 videos up there in Alaska.
Awesome.
Every time you see one of those videos I post, there's your rod.
There's a blue rod in it.
There's your reel seat. Can't get better than that, right?
No. Yeah, it's awesome. Hey, is Cubby available to call us? Does he have signal?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm asking him kind of in a way. Cubby,
Yeah,
can
I
you
don't
call
know.
us in? Can you call in? Can anybody
Call in? I'd love to hear his voice, but he's kind of shy, so probably won't.
Probably won't. Okay, we'll hear about it later.
But if you guys want to call
those guys fishing somewhere right now?
His kids are down there fishing off of Oceanside somewhere.
Nice.
Oh, they were going to go up to the barn, so they're probably fishing calicos and white sea bass and stuff. The inside super secret spot up there.
Hey, good morning, Lisa. I see a big old good morning. And yeah, Matt Ryan said you just gave a really good intro there. Great intro, Dave.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Seawolf is digging on the rainbow that Matt Ryan put out. That's good. Those guys are communicating with fun. So, Dave, we got the new product showcase coming up. Oh my God, I want to win that. I want to win that award. That would be so much fun, right?
Yeah. Well, everybody that's watching that's going to ICAST, just remember the ReelQuick system, and Daniel will be showing it off. I will go with Daniel in front of the showcase area, and I'll do a quick demo seminar right in front of it on one of the days there, Daniel. And also I talked to Tom Rowland. Tom Rowland's a big podcaster, and I'm going to have a booth, sound booth at the ICAST show that I'll be doing my podcast at 3:00 every day from the show floor at ICAST. So that's going to be pretty spectacular, which will be 12:00 Pacific Standard Time, 3:00 Florida time. And I'll be in the Tom Rowland podcast booth. He's given me my own little sound booth to do the podcast every day. So we'll bring Daniel in there. We're going to bring a lot of our sponsors and a lot of our vendors in on the podcast from the show, from the ICAST show. It's going to be pretty spectacular, gang. And then, you know me, I'll be doing the wandering around. Brian and I'm going out to ICAST to represent Promar. Promar is one of the only companies that understands the power of Your Saltwater Guide to bring me to the ICAST show with them. The hype is incredible. Last year when I was there, so many people wanted to come over to the booth and hang out, make videos with us. It was just insane. And I'm sure it's going to be a little bit better this year. I think we've gained another 400,000 followers since ICAST last year. So should be pretty incredible to be out there at the show. But I want to show you guys something that's going on tonight, Daniel, that is incredible tonight. Look at this. tonight, the River Cat Tackle and I are doing a live show. It's going to be incredible. Starting at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time tonight, we're going to be live fishing catfish. Somewhere around the Louisiana area, we're going to be live fishing catfish. I'm going to have the whole crew, the whole pro staff's going to be on the show tonight with me. And we're going to be fishing live. They're going to be fishing live for big catfish. And we're going to be talking them through it. And I don't know how long the show's going to go. We're going to keep going as long as people are watching, or as long as V and her husband are into fishing. We're going to be live tonight. It's going to be incredible, gang. We haven't had a night show since we quit lobster fishing. So this is going to be fun tonight, Daniel.
Well, yeah, we had one squid show that you woke me up at like midnight.
Oh, that's right.
That was funny. I hear this ding on my desk. I'm like, oh, wake up and look. Oh, squid, let's go.
Yeah, that's right. Justin and Paul went over to the island that night.
Man, I wonder if I should meet up with this river cat guy and go drop a line in with ReelQuick.
Yeah, remember we talked about it. You're going to be driving right through their town.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to have to meet up with him. So maybe after the show tonight, I'll reach out and see if we could stop by and see these folks and be fun.
And then another big announcement. Tim Ekstrom and the Royal Star and Roy Rose are going to be live. They're on an 8-day trip. They're going to be live on the show on Tuesday at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Michael Folks and I will be hosting the show, and Tim Ekstrom and Roy Rose will be live from the Royal Star somewhere down below fishing. It's going to be insane. Last time these guys were on the show, Daniel, we broke the internet, and now everybody wants to come on our show and do live fishing trips. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a new age, new way.
So I'm stoked that Tim Ekstrom still likes me, and he's going to be on the show.
Yeah, he was a little nervous on the first shot, right? The first time we did it on his
boat.
boat.
Yeah, he only talked for 3 hours. Yeah, he was super nervous. Yeah.
Fun stuff. Yeah. He was working it. They were working that night, man.
It's incredible. It's incredible, the love that I'm getting from all the people out here, all the people that want to be on the show. It's just absolutely insane. But like I said before, gang, if you've been out on this Byte, you want to tell everybody what you thought of it, let us know. Get on here. And yeah, Christian, my knife is way sharper than yours. I know that for a fact. I know that. How about those videos of me filleting fish up in Alaska? That was fun.
Oh, good. Hey, I wanted to share with you guys, Pablo is all bragging about his knife that he was using to turn the pin on the locking system. Well, I wanted to show him my giant 8-inch long screwdriver that works also. Oh, can you guys see that? Almost. Let's see. We got lock, unlock.
There you go.
That's it, guys. That's the ReelQuick system. It goes back on just that quick, you guys. Check out the gear at the website. Check out the gear on eBay. Call me. My phone number's on the top of every page of that website.
You know what? Let's see. There you go. There's the River Cat Tackles guys logo right there. It's going to be a fun show tonight, Lisa. It's going to be fun. You know what else works
really? At night, Dave. They do that catfishing at night.
I guess. I don't know anything about it. We're gonna all learn all about it tonight. It's gonna be fun. I don't know anything about it, Daniel, except that we're gonna see what the heck it's all about.
Giant catfish at night. Sounds like a good time. I'm headed down to go test my gear out tomorrow morning, Dave, on Legend. I'm gonna go catch one of those stupid fish. I've been fishing my whole life, and I still don't have a 200-pound tuna under my belt. I think I got a 179 or something. I need a 200-pound fish. So yeah, the stupid fish are gonna get on my line. I hope to get a cow, and yeah, that'll take that off the bucket list.
There you go. Back to your ReelQuick system, though. You know what my buddy Pat and Ron were using as their thumbnail? and it worked just flawless. It worked perfect.
It is very easy to turn the pin, but the pin will not turn voluntarily when you're fighting a fish, guys. That doesn't happen, but it is a little detent with a ball bearing and a spring. And when you can get past that with your fingernail, the pin spins perfectly, but it will never spin on its own. It doesn't have a mind of its own. You don't need to worry about that. There's a lot of concern about it, but I have told people over and over again, if you don't want that pin to turn, we have a way to lock it down. But then when I tell people how to lock it down, they figure out that it's not going to turn, and it's a waste of time to go that extra step to make the pin lock. It's not going to come undone, guys.
Yeah, what our guy, we fished, we caught 1,600 fish with your system between three of us up there in Alaska. And when it was all done, as we took the reels off the rods to wash them and put them away and clean them, Pat simply used his thumbnail and Ron simply used his thumbnail, and they just came right off after 8 days fishing nonstop. That screw right there. Show them that screw and how easy it is to lock it and release it.
Get the camera right in the... Yeah, it's not easy to do when I'm not looking at it. That's how easy it is to turn, but there is a little, if you see this wiggle, it's not turning the pin. There is a detent. There is a ball bearing and a pin and a spring that stops it from spinning voluntarily. You need a little force on it. So there's the pin, and the bulbous part will go up in the cavity of the reel foot, which is right there. You see that half moon cavity?
Yeah.
And we turn that pin the other way, and that round part goes up in the cavity and prevents it from pulling off. There is no drag on any reel made today that has enough drag to pull this metal tongue up and over that pin. It can't happen.
No.
Physically, it can't happen, so you don't need to worry about that.
It's not going to happen. But Lisa and Kelly Girl and everybody else that's watching, I feel like my podcast has finally made it to the next level, because right now we got Jolene Thompson watching us.
Oh my God, Jolene, hi.
You guys don't understand. I feel like I made it now. I'm in the big time. When Jolene's watching, we made it to big time, Kelly Girl. I made it. I'm there.
Jolene was epic. She wants some ReelQuick gear. I met her at the San Diego Rod and Reel Club, and she was just a delight. She is super fun.
She's been in the industry for a very long time, worked for some of the big legends in the industry, and she's a good friend, and she's kind of got the same background as I do. So thank you for joining us, Jolene. I'm glad you finally found our show and you're here. If you've been watching it for a while, you never made a comment. So I'm super happy that you're here and you're commenting, and thank you very much for being with us today. That's awesome. Daniel,
Jolene,
she wanted to know.
Filled? Jolene, is the trip filled up? I didn't gear up for a 2-day charter. Yeah, I think she's full on that. But you can let us know in a comment if you need anybody else, Jolene. And yeah, I'm going to send you some pictures. She requested some pictures of my trip. So right when I get back on dock, I'm going to send Jolene some pictures. She's becoming a super good friend. We've been talking a bit. Super
nice. Well, Matt Ryan needs to reach out to you and talk to you. He wants to replace his rod that he threw over the side the other day with the ReelQuick system.
Yeah, replace it with a ReelQuick system. He did not throw a ReelQuick system over. Yeah.
No, but they sink as good as any system.
Yes, they do. Yep, they will.
Got no problem sinking. But yeah, Matt Ryan was so excited about the fishing the other day. He started chumming his rods. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if I heard the full story on how that happened. We'll have to.
Well, let me show you this video. This is his wife catching a beautiful blue shark.
Well, cut it off. I already saw.
You see the blue pliers in there?
They're right here.
blue shark.
And that's what's going on out there right now, Daniel. There's so much fish out there, and that blue shark is like an aquarium out there. I talked to my friend Larry the other day. He had a mako shark on. Who else? Bob, San Felipe Bob had a mako shark on. These are all in 80 feet of water. Everything comes when that sand bass shows up in the mud and starts the highly migratory barred sand bass. When it shows up, all the other fish show up too. So they're catching makos and they're catching blue sharks, and there'll be thresher sharks in the mix, and white sea bass and yellowtail. And then I got some pointers for everybody, Daniel. If you go down there and you're tired of catching that sand bass, that 20, 25-inch sand bass, and you're like, I want to see something else, throw a live mackerel out there for bait. One of those half-pound mackerel you catch for marlin bait or yellowtail bait. Throw one of those out there, or soak one of those, or drop one down on a dropper loop, and be ready. What have we caught doing that over the years? We've caught giant king salmon. We've caught silver salmon. We've caught white sea bass, yellowtail, giant sand bass. You catch 10, 12-pound sand bass on live mackerel in the middle of this sand bass bite, gang. It's pretty amazing. It is pretty absolute amazing. Most people don't even try it because the sand bass fishing is so fun, and they forget that, hey, if you fire a live mackerel out there, hang on, it's going to be insane.
Smoked. So, Dave, all these fish, all that biomass is all headed there because the sand bass show up and they're chewing things up on the bottom and stirring up the clams, and there's fish coming in there to eat the sand bass also, or they're coming in there to eat the clams that they're stirring up. Do we know?
They're coming in there because they're curious. And just like if you're driving down the road and you see a bunch of people standing outside a building, you're trying to figure out, what is everybody doing over there? You're looking. Or if you go by a bunch of people standing on the side of the road and they're all looking up in the sky, you're trying to pull over on the side of the road and look up in the sky. Same thing with the fish. They see a few hundred tons of fish swimming around in an area. They're all coming in there to, what is going on? What are we missing out on? What are we missing out on? They're just, fish are not that hard to figure out. Most people overthink a fish. They're not that smart. But when they see a bunch of their friends hanging out, they're going to come over there and see what's going on. And then all of a sudden, all that food's there. All those boats are there chumming and dropping squid over the side and dropping chicken bones over the side and all that stuff. That's just, all of a sudden the prey density level starts to increase in the water. And now your thresher sharks and your mako sharks and your blue sharks are all there. Everybody's having a party. And that's why yellowtail are so easy to spear. You see guys get big yellowtail under kelp patties. They're super curious. So they're coming in there to see what's going on. The barracuda are in there to see what's going on. And it's just a phenomenal deal. The longer it lasts, the better the opportunity of catching some of the other exotic fish that swim around in Southern California during a cold water year. It's going to be absolutely insane. It already is. We're seeing stuff we've never seen before in the last 18 years. Oh, I've seen it, but most of you have never seen it before.
Hey, Darren, happy Saturday to you too. Trying to read. I'm outside. It's hard to read.
Yeah, it is.
A little bright out.
Yeah, they're all hive-minded, like Lisa said. Yep. Yeah, they're just super curious. They're fish and they're curious, and they're like, what's going on here? Plus, all those sand bass are spawning. So when they're all spawning and having that's kind of an exciting time. I don't know if you guys have ever been around anybody that's spawning, but it's kind of exciting when people are spawning. It gets you kind of riled up, get you kind of hungry, get you kind of into the groove. I don't know. I know a couple of people on here have spawned before because I've seen their children. Spawning brings out the best in most people, right?
It does, and brings out more people.
And it brings out the best in fish, too. Hook up.
I got to give you guys a little clicker sound.
Yeah. So
Super fun, Dave. How's the weather in Cabo today? How's things down there?
It's hot. It's sunny. Kelly and I are going over to our friend's pool to hang out today and get a break.
Oh, good. I mean, yeah, have a sarsaparilla on the deck and do a little swimming.
Just hanging out, soaking in the pool, taking off some of the heat. It's about 85, 90 today. No wind, not a cloud in the sky. It's beautiful. It's been blowing down here for the last couple of weeks. Really hard. The water temperature went from 82 to 63 in a week.
Wow.
It got real green, but that's what has to happen down here. If things like that didn't happen, the water would be 90 degrees all day, every day, and we wouldn't catch anything.
Oh, and you get hurricanes coming up.
Yeah, and we had a bunch of spinners in the beginning of the month, Daniel. They were stacked up down there. It kind of was scary.
Yeah, nothing came into Cabo though, right? Just some wave and wind
Tiny bit of rain
nothing.
one day. Just enough to clean up the streets a little bit. But you're going out tomorrow with the guys on the Legend?
Yep. So it's a 10 a.m. departure tomorrow, and we'll be back, I guess, Wednesday morning, 6 a.m. It's a 3-day trip.
Take lots of video.
Take some video, take some pictures. I'll get my YouTube will be on my chest, so hopefully I can get a fresh hookup on the YouTube video. That would be cool.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to go relax for a few days, decompress away from my computer.
Yeah, because stuff's going to get real here in a week and a half, 2 weeks, as we all run to the ICAST show, right?
I have a little bit more work I need to do before I could get in my truck and go, but we're almost there. I got the packaging's finalized. I'm just waiting for my brother-in-law to send me 50 pieces of prototype, because we're going to put it in the packaging, and we're going to set up a display in the booth to make it look like it's a retail situation. It'd be nice if somebody came up and saw it and just said, I want that in my store. I'm not sure that's how it's going to go down, but I just want to show the population that we can be in a retail situation. We're getting more and more geared up for that. So we've got the back laid out with all the part numbers on it, or most of the part numbers, and just the front of it's just super basic QR code to the website, a space to put the product so it's not blocking anything. It's going to be a printed on a 19-inch long cardstock that gets folded in half, and the opening will be at the top. What I will put in there is one sticker that you see at the top of the Dave's screen on the left-hand side. That sticker will go in. It has a barcode on it too. I'll put in a warranty card in there with a grassroots warranty that I will uphold to and stand by. There will also be, I think we're going to be putting a knurled plastic keychain, or a bottle opener that's got a screwdriver tip on it, so you could turn your ReelQuick pin with a screwdriver instead of your fingernail. For those that chop your fingernails all the way down to nubs and can't use them, we'll have a little tool in there. And then, so we're just trying to provide a few things inside the package for the folks that buy the product. So I would love to be able to have a part of that new product showcase. And I think a lot of it's political. I think a lot of it's who you know. I do want to believe that the people that are doing the voting are going to go through and look at every individual product and there's 1,000 products there. So I don't know if it's possible to do that, but I think one of the biggest things, man, to winning that thing is to just get it out there that I have a product in that showcase, and please go look at it, go touch it, go put your hands on it, then come to the booth and see all the gear. Truly, it is a bitchin' new product. I was at the show last year. Who won? They won it with an electric reel with something on it. It didn't really seem like there was anything new at the show per se. Maybe different colors and lures. I didn't really see anything that was super innovative. I haven't seen it at any of the expos that I've gone to. This is new. They've tried to attempt it in the past. Kowalski tried. There's a couple of people that have had some quick connects, but this one truly is taking over, man. This one is bitching. It's fail safe, doesn't come apart. We haven't had a failure yet, and it works.
Well, here's what I would say, Daniel. It's a brand new product, and people are going to have a hard time figuring out what it is. But you know what you just did that most people never get an opportunity to do? You're in the new product showcase regardless of if you win or not. That is a huge win. You don't understand, gang. Somebody was asking, Lisa, the ICAST show, yes, this is industry only. There's no retail stuff going on. There's not a bag of popcorn. There's no beef jerky. It's not that kind of a show. This is industry. People fly in from all over the world to see what's new or what is going on. And this is where all the tackle buyers come to fill all their orders for their tackle shops for the year. This is where the industry finds out what's new, what's the hot new product. This is where everybody introduces what's new on the market. And this is a phenomenal product, and you'll be in the new product showcase, which is a giant win. That's a win right there, just to be in the new product showcase. Anybody that has a product out there, to think, whatever your business is, if you're World of Concrete, that show's incredible, and it's a concrete show. This is a tackle manufacturer show. That's what it's all about. And Daniel's in it. So one of our guys are in the new product showcase, which is pretty epic just for that alone. It's going to open up so many different things, and so many people are going to see your product. So it's a win already, Daniel. And then if you were to even get a sniff by the judges, you got to do a little dance and jump around and be happier than hell. But this is going to catch on, and it's a phenomenal product. We're going to keep on fishing with it because I had a great time with it. But my good buddy Darren wants to know what's going on with where he should fish. Hey, Sean, good morning. Is everything okay? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm live on the show right now. That's my son. Bye. So,
bye, Sean.
Darren wanted to know, what should I do? Well, you went up and you did the Huntington Beach thing, and you saw it, and you got to experience it. And Darren, you get to catch fish all over the place. What I would suggest is, if you can do that Imperial Beach thing, start off down there by the pipes. That's kind of a fun thing to do, to go check that out. The other thing, the barn kelp is going Richter right now. The barn kelp, yellowtail kelp, Patterson's kelp come out of Oceanside Harbor and make a right turn and go up there. It's biting really, really good. Plus, there's a phenomenal amount of sandbass outside of the barn kelp in the mud in 12 to 15 fathoms. That's 72 to 90 feet of water looking around out there the same way you did up there at Huntington. There's so much going on. Like I used to say, you take a dart and you just throw it at the chart. Wherever it hits, go there. You're going to catch fish. It's that good right now in Southern California because we're in a cold water. So what do you want to do, Darren? You want to catch wide open calico bass with an opportunity to maybe catch a sea bass in the kelp? You want to catch wide open sand bass, barracuda with an opportunity to catch a big halibut or a yellowtail in the mud? Or do you want to run over to the island and catch wide open calico bass, barracuda, bonita, and maybe get a yellowtail? Or what do you want to, whatever you want to do, it's happening. So you just have to pick, all of you that are watching, if any of this sounds fun and sounds exciting and you don't quite understand the verbiage I'm using and what I'm talking about, my website takes away all the guesswork. You go, what's he talking about? The barn kelp, yellowtail kelp, Patterson's kelp. What's he talking about? Huntington Beach Flats. You go to my website, gang. We got 4 guides that fish every day working with us. We got Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. My sister and my brother have 9 sport boats there. They work with me all the time talking about what's happening, where it's biting at. And then any of the captains that have been doing this for more than 20 years that have a brain, they talk to me on the phone all the time and tell me what's going on. So we have the best information you're going to get, cutting edge, right on what is happening, where it's happening at. Why are we not reporting this bluefin thing? Because the guys that are catching those bluefin, first of all, the sport boats, 90% of the fish are at night. And then the other guys, the Billy Kays, the Brandon Haywards, the Dwayne Diegos, those guys are on boats that go 50 knots. They can make a 50-mile move in an hour. I don't want you going out there and doing that. This stuff's going to come together and we're going to get it, and it's going to come together and it's going to be closer right now. That fish is way out there, and you really got to be tuned in and really got to be really good with the kite and the flying fish and that whole thing. So we're going to be talking about it, but right now there's so much other cool stuff to do. I don't want you spending all your money on fuel right now, because July and August are going to be absolutely insane in Southern California. And you keep an eye out on what's going on, gang. August, the water will probably get up into the low to mid 70s, and then you'll get a trickle of that Dorado and shot at that yellowfin on the beaches. Outside, the water will still be cold, which is great, because then maybe we'll get a shot at some albacore. But right now, take advantage of the phenomenal fishing on the coast, gang. I know you can't go into your office tomorrow and show everybody a picture of you holding up a 200-pound fish that sucks to eat, but go show them a whole bunch of white-bellied sand bass with your children with big smiles on their faces. I bet you get more looks than you will on a big giant fish that you can't eat. That's just me, though. What am I saying?
Hey, Dave, these the boats in the Channel Islands and Ventura right now are limiting on sea bass, and it looks so much fun. Yeah, it'd be a good trip right now going out to the Channel Islands for sure on any of these boats that do it.
And Brett just said that the halibut up in Monterey Bay are in 4 feet of water. Holy moly, guacamole! That's pretty wild. Fly lining halibut. That would be fun. And yeah, the king has spoken. You're getting your new tax on your gas here in a couple days. So King Gavin has spoken.
It's coming, right?
But at least we slowed down King Gavin shutting down our sand bass fishing. That was kind of cool.
That wasn't kind of cool. That was beyond epic, dude. You got so many people involved with that. Yeah, that was great. That was great. There's parts of it I don't understand, but
it's open. That's all you need to understand.
Yeah, that's all we care about now. There's just parts of how that whole dynamic thing works with the committee up there. I don't get all that, but they had to hear us, and they couldn't just do what they wanted to do because there was too much opposition. And yeah, that's the power of Your Saltwater Guide. Absolutely. That was beautiful. Absolutely. Well done. Pulling
absolutely
that together.
So Daniel, I'm going to give you the whole screen here. I want you to show everybody your system and explain to them how you got, if you have a reel, you have to change the reel seat on your reel to fit into, kind of go over the whole thing so more people can understand. And I'm giving you the whole screen to show it off. Okay.
Beautiful. I'm going to show, this is the 23 millimeter reel seat. We have 2 sizes of glue on or epoxy on reel seats. A 23 millimeter, that's the diameter of the hole. This goes for like the 12 to 60 pound setups. There's some crossover in there, but the larger one, I don't have it in front of me, is the 27 millimeter. That's the hole diameter. The 27 millimeter goes for your 60 to 130 setups. So on that 27 millimeter, you could put your 50 accurate ATD, your Talica 50, your Okuma 50. Any of those will go on it. Let's see. Dave wanted to talk about the foot. So this is the reel seat. This is the foot on the reel. We have to change the foot on the reel to match our dovetail. Now, some are easier than others. I'm going to start with Okuma because that is a sponsor of the show, and they have done it right. Most of their reels that we are going to adapt to are screwed on the bottom, and we're designing the foot for those that have screws on the bottom. So those screws come out of that foot that they have, and they go right back onto the foot that we provide. So those screws will be in the bag when we sell it, the replacement screws. And also, the side note, screws that come with the reel that go right back in is an easy installation. If the screws have to be changed to a different screw, because we weren't able to design with those original screws. I would say that's 2 stars. It's a little bit more difficult for the consumer to do it, but if we provide the screws, it should be just as easy as the 1 star. Now, the third one is the pinned reels. We have several manufacturers that pin their reel foot on, and we have to drill them out. And I'm giving those a 3-star difficulty, which requires a ReelQuick service center to remove that foot and replace it with a new foot. People that are machinists and people that can do that stuff, yeah, you'll be able to do it yourself, but it's a 3-star difficulty that will require a ReelQuick service center to handle. Anybody that wants to become a ReelQuick service center, please call us. We're looking for people in different places or different shops in different areas that want to carry the gear. Dave, I hope that answered the question about the foot. We do have to design for every reel that we adapt to, depending if it's the 23 millimeter or a larger reel with the 27. I have to pull the foot off, make a design with my machine or the designer, the graphic guy, and make a model with the screw holes in the right place. Then we 3D print it and we screw it to the reel to make sure it fits properly. And then we can go ahead and cut it in metal. So it is a little bit of a process that we have to go through when we get a new reel. But once we have the design, then we have the design. The next reel that comes along, whoever's doing the machining at that time can just make a new foot. Super easy. I did want to talk, Dave. We've been talking about the glue-on reel seat. We have 2 sizes. There's other projects we're working on that we don't have in production yet, but one of them is a reel seat that goes on the Winthrop bending butt. Will slip right over the Winthrop, and it will have the 27 style dovetail for those larger reels. And then the 4th one that we're developing right now is going to have a number 2 ferrule threads, the AFCO ferrule threads on both ends of this. So you could screw a tip in to the top, any, a 20, 30, 50 pound tip, and you could screw a bending butt or a straight butt to the back. So that's something we're developing also. And then moving farther along down the road for ReelQuick, we have this in our minds. Picture this reel seat split in half, and all you have is the dovetail. If I take a couple of screw holes here and I screw this dovetail to a wall or inside a drawer on your vessel or in your garage, we could slip this reel into place on a wall, in the galley, in the drawer, on the boat, and now your reel's not rolling around in a box or clanking around with other reels. So this is something we are developing, but also think about this reciprocal right here. If I had this screwed to a wall, I could take my rod and fasten it to the dovetail on a ceiling maybe and just clip the tip so it's not moving. Then your rod's not touching anything except where it's supposed to be touching, which is the reel seat, which won't damage anything. But anybody that has a boat that's had rods in the same rod holder for a year or so, you'll notice that your clear coat's wiped off of that rod now. It just gets rubbed off. This is definitely a superior way to store your rod and a reel on a boat that's moving, so they don't bounce around and bouncing off of each other. So those are the things that we've thought of so far about with this dovetail, and I'm sure there's an infinite amount of ways that we can use this dovetail and this locking, the locking pin in other industries, or even more so to do with boating and fishing. Come up with something, and we can design it and make it. So there's that about the storage devices that we're thinking of and the other accessories with the ReelQuick.
No, that was perfect how you explained that. I think everybody's going to understand it. Gang, tonight, I want to finish this off. Tonight is going to be absolutely incredible. We got a bunch of the River Cat tackle guys, pro staff joining us right now. I just seen them all jump on here and making comments and everything. Well, tonight it's going to be insane because we're teamed up with John and Andrew and V and Lisa and the whole crew, we're teamed up and we're going to do this live show tonight, catfish fishing. It's going to start at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I am super excited about it because I love to learn. And I know nothing about what these guys are going to show us tonight. And I am super excited to learn about it. This is going to be insane for all of us on the West Coast that have no idea what these people are doing out there in Louisiana or in the Midwest. We don't really know, but we're going to learn tonight. We're going to get to see it. And we're going to turn this on to our 800,000 followers. And I am super excited to see it. And I know a lot of you are. It's going to be a great way to spend a Saturday night watching what they're doing. They're going to go live with us at 6 o'clock tonight. It's going to be pretty cool to check it out. The River Cat Tackle Pro staff will join us. Andrew and John and quite a few of the other people will be online with us explaining to what's going on. Because as I keep telling you, I don't know anything about it. So I'm going to kind of just be there hosting the show, but I'm going to stay out of it because I really don't have much to bring to the table as far as what they're doing. But I was told by V that there's a really good chance that they're going to catch a bunch of catfish tonight. So that'll be super exciting. And yes, Creole catfishing. This is absolutely where the cool kids hang out. We do this show live 6 days a week. If you can wrap your head around that, I do a live fishing show 6 days a week. And if you have a product and you want to sell it, you can go pay Google Ads a whole bunch of money to get your product in front of somebody you don't know. Or if you have a fishing product and you want to get it in front of a bunch of like-minded people that are going to buy your product, this is where you want to do it at. I know trade shows are fun if you want to go drink and have fun, but if you want to sell product, this is the best podcast to sell product off of because everybody on this podcast is fishermen. And as you see, our reach is insane. Just our Facebook. We're live on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Megaphone, Rumble, X, Threads. We hit everything you could possibly hit live with all of our stuff. And that's how you're going to get your product in front. That's why Daniel Rubin's on here every Saturday. He gets it. That's why Okuma's on here every Wednesday. They get it. Promar gets it so good. They have 3 days. And then the other sponsors, Manser Marine, McCarty Yacht Sales, Deckhand Sports, Offshore Products from John Stanley and the gang. All the companies that you see advertising on here, they get it. They understand social media. And then the rest, they go to trade shows and they hope and pray that they're going to get to sell one of their little products or something. But the real people, this is where they hang out. This is where they market their products. It's pretty insane. Daniel Rubin, I really appreciate you being a part of this show and all the other sponsors that are with us. They get it. It's social media is the thing now, gang. And you're not going to find anybody that works harder than me. I might not be the smartest human being doing this stuff, but I'll guarantee you no one outworks me. Think about this. I put out 3 brand new videos every single day. Okay. One goes out at 8 o'clock in the morning. One goes out at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. One goes out at 6 o'clock at night every single day. I do a live podcast Monday through Friday at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time and a live podcast on Saturday mornings at 9 o'clock. I am a lazy, fat slob. I take off Sundays and I lay around the pool and do nothing. So, yeah, maybe you could outwork me if you work every single day. But I come from the fishing world. If you don't work every day, you don't make a living, you don't get to eat. So when they told me I could do this and talk, get out of the way, watch this, try to shut me up. And we got a phenomenal group that follow us all the way because they understand how good it is. Tank will be with us tonight, Matt Ryan. Tank's going to be helping us run this thing. And it's going to be incredible because he's got a lot of knowledge of what they're doing in V and Lisa and their husbands. I'm sorry. I'm just super excited about tonight, so I can't quit talking about it. And Daniel Rubin, thank you for being a part of this. And I can't wait to see what you do with your ReelQuick system out on the boat. I want to see some video. You got to grab one of the deckhands or somebody and say, hey, shoot some video of the rail rod. That's what your system is going to be changing. Everybody, the sport boat guys are going to say, oh, you can't fish on our boat if you don't have that in the next couple of years because of the amount of money they have to spend redoing that mahogany rail every year.
Yeah, you could come on your boat with those brackets and nuts on the back if you put a deposit down to fix the rail when you leave. Dave, before we jump off of here, I just want to go back to the new product showcase again. Anybody that's listening to the show that has anything to do with the new product showcase, or if you're at ICAST, please come by the booth and check out the gear. It is a little bit beyond what I can show you here. You can't really get it, right, Dave? You looked at it so many times. You didn't really get it until you had it in your hands on the boat. And then
I
got
fished with it for 8
like,
days straight. Every day I had that rod in my hand for 15 hours a day. It was insane. It was insane.
Yeah, I could use the help. I could use the help getting this new product showcase. I think that is something that could eject this into the next level. I don't know what the next level is, Dave. I'm waiting. Somebody's going to come. Somebody's going to come and somebody's going to know how to take this to the next level, which I'm not a retail guy. That's none of my wheelhouse. I got the product here. I'm going to get it selling. I'm going to get some traction on it. I can do all that. Taking it to the next level is going to require somebody with that backing, with the supply chain, with with all those things already in place. And I don't want to compete with somebody that's already got all that in place. I want that person to come over and say, I need that. I need that in my repertoire. And I think we've got a couple of people that are already interested. I'm not going to name any names right now, but we are going to be talking at ICAST. And I believe that we will be able to see a future for ReelQuick, right? Something's going to come together. We're going to see where is it going to be marketing to custom rod wrappers? Is it going to be having it on the shelf in tackle stores? Is it going to be just selling combo units on my website? Is it going to be all three of the above, plus, working with yacht builders with the storage devices, all that stuff? I don't know which direction it's going to go. It's got a good feeling in every direction. Need some experienced people to come and help me take this thing up to the next level. And, I own this company with one other person. It's wide open. We have a company that I believe could change part of the fishing industry of how we attach reels to rods in a much better way. This is a much better freaking mousetrap than the gimbal, than the ferrule and the cleat. So if I could just get some traction and get some people interested in this, we can get everybody using this. I'm super excited. I'm going on a road trip, Dave, next week. I'm going to meet you.
Yeah, you are. You're going to meet the RCT guys. You're going to river cat tackle, and you're going to meet those guys. Hopefully, you get to fish with them. And Andrew, welcome. Glad you jumped in here. Yeah, we're super fired up about tonight. Tonight's going to be insane. Tune in at 6 o'clock. The RCT crew will be a part of this show. The River Cats Tackle Group, the pro staff, all the members, they're going to all be on the show with us. So let's show them what Your Saltwater Guide's all about. Yep. Let's all make sure, set your watches, be a part of the show at 6 o'clock tonight. They'll answer all your questions about catfishing, and you'll get to see some extraordinary catfish fishing tonight. I'm super fired up about it, gang. I love learning. I love seeing new stuff. And you know me, if I can piss a puddle, I'm going to fish in it. So it's time to wake up and get excited about fishing again, gang. If you only like to catch big, giant fish, then you probably aren't much of a fisherman anyway. So I'll see you guys tonight at 6 o'clock. Daniel Rubin, thank you for all the support and taking care of Your Saltwater Guide and all their members, Dave, and always answering all the questions. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you, Dave.
Turn off the news. They're all lying. This is the only place you get the truth.